Now, the 50th anniversary of the coup that brought General Muritala Muhammed into office marks a significant milestone in Nigeria's history. General Muhammed's leadership and vision had a lasting impact on the country, shaping its development and leaving a legacy that continues to inspire Nigerians. Well, joining us to discuss his legacy after his death is Dare Babarinsa, a renowned Nigerian journalist and author. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show today. It's a pleasure to host you.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here to meet my colleagues on this television show.
All right, shall we go ahead? Well,
yes.
Since we're, delving into this conversation, I'll begin with, what do you feel were some of General Muritala Muhammad's most significant achievements during his short tenure?
If you remember his first broadcast as head of state, he said this government will not tolerate indiscipline. This government will not allow abuse of office. And you can see the way he pursued it as if he knew his tenure would be very short. There have been agitation during the time of Gowon that Nigeria needed, politicians wanted new states. And he went ahead and pursued it. And by February 1976, he has created additional states, making Nigerians to be from 12-state federation to become 19 states. Before that time, too, there had been agitation that Lagos was overcrowded as the capital of Nigeria. And in a jiffy, before you knew it, he has established the Justice Akeola Guda panel that finally recommended Abuja as the federal capital territory. I think his regime was action-packed. And the impacts you can see, they are long-lasting. The Constitutional Drafting Committee inaugurated under the Venerable Shirotimi Williams recommended presidential system of government, and that's what we are still operating to today. So you can see the creation of states, you can see the movement to Abuja, you can see the federal presidential system of government, you can also see some of the controversial decisions that he took, like the taking over of the Daily Times, that has momentous impact on Nigerian journalism. You can see the federalization of the radio corporations across the country. All those are Muritala's impact within some few months. We will always remember him down the centuries.
Okay, it was on this day, July 29, 1975, that he assumed office as head of state. And then, of course, it was said that short-lived. And many people keep saying, well, if he had been there for a much longer period, maybe he would have impacted more on the development process in Nigeria. And that because, he left very early, we didn't quite get the full effect of his leadership. But what aspects of his legacy will you say have endured? Because as they say, it's not how long, it's how well. What aspects have endured?
I'll just mention some. You look at the presidential system. If you look at Gowon's system of governance was a bit tempered. But Muritala believed that government should take action. Once a decision is taken, you should move ahead. You don't need to be temporizing. And up to today, even politicians who don't do things with immediate effect, they also mention with immediate effect, as if politicians can do things with immediate effect. Those are the lexicon of General Muritala Muhammed. And of course, Abuja is there as a almost, you can say, the eternal capital of Nigeria, because there is no agitation from that time period that we should again change the capital to somewhere else. Everybody seems to have accepted the decision that Abuja should remain the capital of Nigeria. In the foreign policy, you can see he energized Nigerian foreign policy by aligning Nigeria with the liberation struggle in South Africa, to the extent that during the Obasanjo period that succeeded him, Nigeria was regarded as a member of the frontline state, though geographically we were very far away, but in terms of action, we were very close to the struggle in South Africa.
Okay, but some people also criticize aspects of his legacy. The purge in the civil service. the crisis within the education system. Some people trace the roots to the Murtala Muhammed era.
Well,
True or false?
Well, we get wiser now after the event. At the period of his ascension of power, many people were questioning the influence of especially the top civil servants on General Gowon. The fact that many things Gowon would try to do, they will not be able to do so. And therefore, the government will take a decision, and some people will say, no, this thing cannot be done. And it will not be done. And the head of state will appear powerless about it. So during Muritala Muhammed's period, he was able to domicile power in Dodan barracks. You knew who was really in charge of Nigeria. So you are right that some of the purges were controversial. Some of the purges may have had unintended effects. But at the period Muritala was carrying out those purges, Nigerians were very happy. They believed that he was doing the right thing. Well, you may say that over the years, this may have affected, they call it the morals of the public service. But if you look down the line, what has happened across the years, other people have had the opportunities of doing other things. Why are we continuing to talk about what Muritala did in 75, 76 as having the morale? There are other things that may affect the morals, and part of the thing is the indiscipline that Muritala complained about. We have been unable to cure our republic of indiscipline.
So, at a time like this, what are some things you can pick? You'll say, okay, discipline. Maybe probably it's going to be one of them. The famous going to the post office early in the morning, people were not on ground, and he got them booted out, you know, arriving at places, government places unannounced, and civil servants were made to come on time and all of that. Do we need that kind of push at this time?
I think what we need more now is governance by example. A leader showing example. The law says, don't do this. The law says, don't drive along, face one way. But then you see people who have, people are obviously riding cars bought for them by taxpayers will be facing one way.
But
so things obviously, if we follow Murtala Muhammed examples, things obviously will be better for us, especially in the personal conduct of leaders. Yes.
They were also back and forth about, you know, because he was former Federal Communications Commissioner.
Yes.
They were also back and forth about ghost workers while he was there and all of that. You know, in fact, you know, Ajay even wrote famously, you know, about that in his books about, you know, problem with Nigeria and all of that, you know.
I'm sure you know that a minister cannot manufacture ghost workers.
Okay.
Ghost workers are those inflicted list of workers, usually by civil servants. They know what to do. They give them names, they give them numbers, and then they know what to do. But now, with the era of digitalization, that has seriously reduced. Unfortunately, I can't remember anybody being punished for manufacturing ghost workers, both at the state and the federal level. And that shows us that the impunity that Muritala tried to address, we continue with that kind of impunity even now. Okay,
one way to summarize this is that Nigeria will appear to be a work in progress. And that work in progress seems to be, you know, perpetual. It seems to be unending. But maybe as a nation, someday we'll get there. Thank you very much, Mr. Babarinsa, for joining us on The Morning Show.